Just give me a countdown, and then I know,
Yeah, I'll give you a
and then
countdown.
I can put on the shtick.
Yeah.
Are we? What?
But
Are we
I'm
live?
thinking we're gonna go live in like 50. I'm just not feeling that great right now, so I'm just feeling tired. So I think I might go live like right at 10:15. So we can talk about all sorts of secret stuff. It's fine. I'm definitely not live.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, just really quick before we go live. I had a good conversation with Ben just earlier about because we're trying to figure out how to start and stop mini games, to put mini games into the prototype. So what we're thinking is sort of a DDR style game as a sort of a example. So what we'll probably do is I'm gonna ask one of the artists to help with some concepts of like maybe a Friday Night Funkin' fork.
Friday Night
I don't know if
Funkin' Fork?
Yeah, have you ever played Friday Night Funkin'?
I've never played Friday Night Funkin'.
No.
What is that?
Okay, well, it's like a dance game. It's like basically like an HTML5 DDR.
Okay.
So, but the cool what I like about it is like it has like a hip hop look to it, and it looks super Flash, like Adobe Flash, like Animate. It has that kind of line art to it. So, yeah, I like the kind of the hilarious style of it. It has that kind of strong bad factor to it.
Oh man.
Anyways,
Strong
so
bad,
yeah,
you just blasted me in the past, man. I used to like.
I like to do that.
We should talk. Man. I have like I love being brought back to those like nostalgic moments of remembering things like Homestar Runner. That was a crazy time in internet history.
Man. They were super foundational too. Like they, so many of the team was super inspired by Homestar and Strong Bad. So yeah, should be awesome. Anyways, I'm
Right.
super excited. So what it means is we're gonna spend some time. This is just before we go live, but we'll spend some time probably bringing the Parrot Breakfast Club and Beakfist Club and the
Beakfist Club
shop to color. What's that? Oh yeah, well yeah, like well, that was somebody in the Discord suggested that. They were like, "Hey, what if we drop the R and it's like Beakfist?" And I was
hilarious.
like, it reminds me of this joke in it's a bad example, but Sesame Street. There was this first Sesame Street movie in the 80s. They got this sign that says "Fun Fair," and then the first F falls, and it says "Unfair." And I always thought that was hilarious. So I kind of like the same idea. It's like it says Breakfast Club, but the R is just kind of like falling down. So it's like Beakfist Club. Anyways,
I love that. That's great.
So basically what it means is we're going to need the exteriors to those rooms. So, if it's like a town or a plaza, something that's like, here are the rooms from the outside. Okay, you can go into the Breakfast Club. Kind of like the town in Penguin where you can go into the nightclub, you can see the room. So yeah, we're gonna have to finish bring Beakfast Club Breakfast Club up to color next, and shop, and then add a room that's sort of the exterior to get to those rooms. Cool. And then so basically minigame test will be the I can't even think. This is going to be a great stream because my brain is just I guess we should just start.
I feel like no, I'm not. We'll start soon. I just want to chill out. Oh, by the way, there's been. I feel like just with how we're working, the more that the community's talking and interacting with like Mooseland or Moose in Suits. Which, by the way, the world of Moose and Suits is going to be called Mooseland. It just has to be. But the game or whatever.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's perfect.
It just
Love
sounds good to say Moose. But I feel
just,
like
you've got a place, but the place doesn't have to be the same name as the product or whatever word you want to use.
But I don't know where I don't know where it started. I think it just is like almost like a meme or whatever. But they were talking about.
You're talking about the sharks?
Yeah, I think
I love
sharks
those
just have to.
so much.
I think sharks in suits have to be like
It's so
the
good.
side character. I think that's
Yep.
or like the villain. I think it just has to be, and it just like adds a level of silliness that I really like.
Well, I love Bitsy's suggestion there with like basically different species of sharks. Like I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's just there's something fun about getting inspired by one particular animal and then just going deep into it. Totally appeals to me.
I think it'd be awesome if like it would be like a boardroom or whatever. Like there's one room where you have to pitch stuff to the sharks. Like it's a literal shark tank.
Perfect. Oh, that's awesome. You
But
can call it the creative council.
Yeah. But it'd be funny if there was like if you could like as a functionality, it's like you walk into this little big giant fish tank and then you become a shark and then you sit down and then
that's great.
And then you can like judge people's business pitches.
Yeah. And then you have to come in and pitch. Yeah. That's so good.
But literally make it a shark tank. Like just I think that's a great idea.
I like it.
And I just love that. I don't know where it started, but
can you have a sign on the boardroom that's like what we had? Drinks are for meetings only, and you have the fancy Perrier that is only for the executive meetings. It's not for the regular meetings. So only the sharks get the sort of the sparkling water and the fancy drink meetings or meeting drinks.
I forgot about that corporate culture.
So, man.
I'm really happy.
Anyways,
I'm really happy to not have that in my life. It's a lot of wasted time. You know, there's a lot of So before we go live, I just want to chat a little bit about the I guess we're calling it like a bread trail, but we're all the secret codes that we're kind of messaging. So the Moose Agency.
Do you have an idea for what you want to call the Moose Agency yet?
No, well, I'm more talking about like the higher level stuff that we've been doing it since like the very beginning of the Discord, like kind of like the codes that we've been putting in all of our different servers and stuff. So like I did a little bit more of the work in like the numbers, which is like the community's doing exactly kind of what I was expecting, which is really awesome. Also like in Moose, and I've been noticing in the other subs, they're kind of everybody's falling into the pattern that we've set, and I've noticed the stuff that you've been putting is like totally up to code, and it's totally like that basically like it adds up, so we can they should be able to get the message by now. I mean, it's pretty cryptic, and the link is pretty hard to guess, but once you actually discover the URL and you actually like go into the
I'm gonna need to flow chart this thing because my brain is like, okay, how am I gonna keep track of this again? Because I don't know if I can keep track of it all.
I can barely keep. It might all fall apart, but it's working. I mean, I feel like they're catching on. Like Polly is really catching on. The funny thing is like Tech 70 doesn't even have a clue, which is really surprising. I thought Tech would just like be on top of it like immediately, but it's like no. But but it's hard to tell because it's so silly and cryptic that they might just be being silly and not get it. But I'm like, you have to get it. Like if you have, I don't know. It's weird, but I feel like it might not be anything at this point because it's kind of gone off the rails a little bit. But I think we can pull it back in with a few cryptic messages here and there.
Okay, well, before my brain starts derailing into cryptic messages and trying to keep track of it all again, we should probably get ready for this stream at some point.
Well, I've got
because I got to get into Quantic Foundry headspace here. So
okay. Well, okay, let's just do it. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. And we are
just
live.
Know when
okay,
you go
watch
live.
Just watch your.
Live now?
Go live, so just like watch what you say here, okay?
Okay.
And we're live.
Okay. Cool.
Right, we're live. All right.
Hey. You have been live.
Okay, so stream started.
Oh.
It's confusing because it says streams. It's like an OBS studio. You see the comments before you go live, so it's like, yeah. Although I haven't really been reading them. Okay, we're live now. Should I?
Okay.
Have we done a Discord thing? Should I do
guess I
something in Discord?
should make a link.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Just went live. Moosies.
Wait, didn't it? It should do the automatic thing though. Yeah, do. Oh, it's Friday. My brain is falling apart. Da 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 da.
So it's official.
I
have too much Lego.
Oh, okay. We went live. We're already live.
No,
it already
I told
posted.
you. I told you
we're good.
We're live.
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
You can see how organized and with it this morning we are. Hey.
Wait, is Skyview is Battle Bears online? Oh my goodness. What's the?
Oh, is Ben live on the Battle Bears account? That's awesome. That's so good.
Oh
hey Ben, we were just chatting earlier. So
Ben,
he said he'd try and join us in the stream, and I said, okay, well, I'll try and not be boring. A and B, try and be in some way entertaining. Anyways, hey everybody, look at this. We got the Battle Bears official account is on the stream today.
My gosh. I'm
How
sorry.
awesome is that?
I'm sorry in advance.
Yeah. So, welcome to the chaos. Ta-da! Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Thankfully, I am extremely thankful because Tech took the time to put together a little presentation-y thing. So that means we can actually talk about something. Hooray! Did you get the link?
I got the link, but not the.
You got the link?
Not the link that the secret link, but I got the regular link. Yeah. Okay.
No, but you got the link to the presentation, right?
I've got the link. If you could see my face, I'm winking right now.
Oh, I can't see anything.
What? You got to put on your glasses. You always forget to wear those glasses. Yeah. All right.
Well, yeah, because those aren't real glasses. I gotta actually go. When you become elderly, suddenly you have to consider actually getting glasses.
Yeah.
Polly says, "Huh?
Huh?"
I think that's how you pronounce that, right? Huh?
Man, I love them.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday. French
and
Friday.
If it's Saturday somewhere, then happy Saturday. I don't know if anyone is here on a Saturday. I think most of us are on Friday. The UK is always in advance of us. Yeah, anyways.
Man,
let me try and get a link. I've got a gallery, so just so you know, everyone, I've got a gallery for all of our results in one spot. So I have our Quantic Foundry results to share them. So I'm just making a link right now so you can see it. Okay. Happy Monday, Freya.
Happy Monday. Okay, are you ready? Are we doing this? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
This is the best. This is the most exciting moment here. You ready? Okay.
Do it.
Here it is.
Ta-da!
You are now watching the News of Polo.
Is there a moment I'm waiting for here?
Yay!
Yay!
It's gonna get the corner. It's gonna hit the corner.
Hey, DVD!
I'm never gonna change this title.
Oh, look at it flip. It's amazing. And boop. And boop. And then boop. And boop. 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 Did those DVD menus make sound effects when it hit the corners?
They did in my head.
I don't even remember.
In my brain, they did.
They did in my heart.
All right.
Welcome to the Moose Polo
I haven't
Show.
even checked this to see what we look like.
Take it away, guys.
Yay!
Hey! Look, you got a green screen. How
I
cool
got
is
half
that?
of a green screen.
What is happening with my hair? I have a top mullet. Ugh. I think I watched somebody was talking about Elon's midlife crisis hairdo. That's what I've gone for. So welcome to my midlife crisis hairdo. When you get elderly, you too will have a midlife crisis hairdo.
That's true. Well, look, I got a haircut
When's
yesterday.
midlife anyways? Did you?
It's
Oh, it looks
changing
good.
all the time. Once we achieve immortality, there won't be a midlife. Your whole life will be a midlife crisis. That's kind of once everybody's in the metaverse, and you live forever.
Oh,
they should.
Don't you know you're already in the metaverse, dude? This is the metaverse.
Yeah.
And it's snowing, and there's moose frames, and it is much more confusing than you ever thought the metaverse would be. Hey-o!
Hey guys, Christmas is just around the corner here.
And Hanukkah's now.
And Hanukkah's now. Right.
And when does Kwanzaa start? I love Kwanzaa because I'm like, to be honest, like that's why I loved Black Panther. I was like, finally, we've got some like a really prominent African root story. There's this one artist I just liked his stuff on Twitter that was just amazing. And I grew up watching stuff like Coming to America when I was a teenager. So I love. There's just not enough sort of like African stories that are out there prominently in art. So
Right.
anyways,
I've never seen Coming to America.
really?
Aren't they doing
It's got
aren't they doing a
nudity and
remake?
swearing. It's R-rated. Well, there's a sequel. I haven't seen it yet. I'm kind of scared.
Oh, yeah, I would be too. I'm scared to watch most things
Okay.
these days. I don't really watch much because I got kids with sleep issues. So I watch one show a week. I have like a show allowance. I'm so lame.
Show allowance?
Yeah, well,
What do you watch with your show?
Wheel of Time. I've been really enjoying Wheel of Time. Okay, I gotta stop this. This makes my brain. Sorry, I've been playing the Scary Carrie song. It's just like
Oh,
it's just
okay.
hurting my head. Oh, but yeah, Wheel
I'm
Wheel
just
of
getting
Time.
into the Twitch.
Have you heard of Wheel of Time?
So-
Robert Jordan book, the Robert Jordan book. It's awesome. The show, they're doing a great job of it. Like they're actually pulling it off, which is exciting. Except for the color correction is horrible. The colorist on that show, they tried to get really creative with the color grading, and then it really messed up the compression. So all the highlights are like super uber compressed, and anytime it's like outside, and I've tested on multiple screens, it's really dumb for like a multi-million dollar show with so many like crazy like practical sets and visual effects. One guy's job at the end was to do like the color correction, and he blew it. It's like so all. It's so annoying.
But
when
they
that
didn't.
happens.
They didn't do it like live color correction, kind of like Mandalorian was doing.
No, well, that's a bit different. You're thinking compositing. Color correcting is when you have like the final master.
No. Like on set, they're doing live VFX color correction.
I'm talking about like at the end, like after the
On
edit,
Mando.
kind of. That's
Yep.
more of like lighting on set. Color correcting and color grading comes after. It's like a post-production process. No, I don't think they did. Maybe they did. I don't know. It would be smart to.
They
do
did.
that.
I was watching an interview with a colorist from Mandalorian.
Oh, interesting.
They're doing it. They have to do it live because when you're on the set, whatever they call that. Do you remember what they call the set? Anyways, they have to, because the lighting you have a complete wraparound Unreal set, right? So now suddenly if you've got blue sky, now you have blue tinted rocks with the physical props on set. So they have to do live correction so that while they're filming, they don't have stuff. Anyways, whatever. It's cool.
It's awesome, man. That stuff is really exciting for me. Like virtual sets.
Oh, big time.
It's like,
Big time.
Like especially like with stop motion, like we're thinking of gonna like experiment with some Lego stuff too. I mean, they already do. Like there's some really awesome stop motion influencers on YouTube that are already doing their makeshift virtual sets. Because of stop motion, you don't really need to have it. They can just like do
Perfect.
one frame at a time. But yeah, I love it, especially with Lego because the reflections make a big difference. On the plastic.
Man, that like Animal Logic, their work on Lego Movie is just off the charts. It's so good.
Well,
Like the attention to detail is amazing.
Well, it's really awesome because it's actually fan driven. Like what they did was
Totally is.
they went. There's a really awesome Vice documentary about it where they went and they looked at like old fan videos. Did I send it to you? I must have sent it to you.
See, I would love to do that with like basically like Penguin, our old videos and stuff that people would. Well, we'll do a whole series based on Midnight Aurora's videos. I'm still got to get Midnight to do like Midnight. You can do like the parrot versions of your old videos. I think would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
It's kind of like revisit your old work in new light. Oh, John D, your mic is a tiny bit quiet.
How's that? Is that better? Is that loud enough for you? Sorry.
Not loud enough. It needs to be that like.
It needs to be way louder. Do I need to break your eardrum? I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm really sorry about that. I think you should turn the gain way up. Well, I'm
never,
a bit...
ever suggest those kinds of things to Johnny.
No, on the second stream, we did, somebody told me to do that, and I overcorrected, and then it was just way too loud. Is that so? Moose needs to add some modulation effects into the input. Yeah, I could do that.
Do you have a vocoder?
Yeah. Oh man, so I don't know if you guys saw, but on like the Moose Junior server, do we call them servers or groups? Like when it's on the Discord, the Moose Junior server. Are we calling them servers? What are we calling them? I don't even know the lingo.
What channel?
Channel. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Doy, my brain is mush after this week.
Polly got it.
Okay, there we go. Channels. Thank you. Please, I'm gonna rely on the comments to correct anything I'm saying. But
while we're chatting, by the way, in the announcements channel on our Discord,
hey,
you can see that I posted the gallery. So if everyone wants to see the gallery, it's there. So,
ooh, I like galleries.
Gallery of results, and yours isn't in there because you haven't done it yet.
I have not done it. Oh, that's the sound effect I wanted. Yeah, I didn't do it. What was I saying? This has been one heck of a week. Holy smokes! Just thinking about what went down this week.
Your dog ate your homework?
My dog. Yes, that's right. I have a dog. It's a made-up dog. And the made-up dog ate my made-up home. Oh, Lego? Man. That reminds me of this dumb recurring high school dream that I have. Do you have this? Where it's like, okay, this was really trippy. Story time. So I had this weird recurring dream where I'm in grade 12 and I'm about to graduate, but I have to take like this like exam. So I have to take a final math exam, and then I realize I haven't been in math. I haven't attended a single math class this whole time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what this is. And I have to sit in this classroom and take this exam. And I was like, I haven't been to one class, and I'm sweating and I'm freaking out. And I've had the same dream, and I was like, sometimes it's like different parts of high school where I'm like just in the hallway and I'm hanging with friends, and in the back of my mind I was like, oh my gosh, I've missed every single math class this year. What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna graduate. My whole life is over. It was terrible. And then when I shot this movie, we like in 2019, we actually shot some scenes in my old high school, and they had done some like renovations to the building, so they added like a whole new like upstairs and a whole new wing, which is brand new. I'd never seen it before, and I went, and I just, because nobody's in the high schools in the summer, and I like walked up this new wing, and I was like, holy smokes, deja vu. This was in my dream. I was like, it was so weird that this like I dreamt about this new wing in this like high school, and I knew where my math class was that I was missing. I was like, that is where I had my dream every night, this recurring dream, and I've never been here physically, but I've been here in my dream. Isn't that weird? It's like
that's super weird.
I know, it was one of those like moments. That whole summer was weird, but because we were filming this weird bizarro movie. But that was like one of the trippiest moments of my whole life. And I was like, I guarantee this is like a new construction building. I haven't been in my high school in like 10 years, but like I have been here in my dream. So weird. And I get like that anxiety attack, like, oh no, math. I don't know how to do math. That's just...
You don't have... You're obsessed with numbers. Come on. What's going on here?
Well...
Moose?
You know, you're... You're calling me out here. It's making me uncomfortable. No, you don't have to be good at math to be obsessed with numbers.
Discomfort is okay. That should be uncomfortable is a good thing.
Or this is what my wife says whenever we're like doing a workout. She quotes like whatever this workout saying. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's what she says really loud in it.
That's a very, very good thing. You like if you're trying to control your environment and control what everyone says and everything, like, you're setting yourself up for failure because you can't control the world. You can only control your response to it.
Yeah,
so
there it is. It's funny. That's such a dad inner voice thing,
I know. So sorry. Am I using dad voice again? I can't help it. Like,
you know what? Well,
and it's like what 21 years of being a dad. Like my eldest is going to be 22 in
holy
whatever
smokes,
March.
22.
So at this point,
wow.
Like I've been doing dad jokes for 21 years. So let's just be. You know, I am what I am. You know, it is what it is.
I am, and I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Isn't that what he says? Popeye.
Poppy. Does it? Oh yeah, maybe. I guess. Man,
by
I
the
should
same
know
number.
that. It's old enough to be dad material, so I should know by now.
We were talking. We've been in the last
Eat your
stream
spinach.
when you left. We
Left? I never leave.
when you left the stream, you left us. We were talking about we I don't know, we started talking about like dads. I think I was just like rambling about being a dad, and then in the chat they're like, there's a dad in everybody. It's like everybody has an inner dad. And it's like, yeah, that is true. And so it's come up multiple times on the Discord. And it's just like, oh, come on, dad. And I'd been doing that. I think did I tell you this? Whenever I do something dumb or whatever, I say, come on, dad. Like I was fixing a door the other day. I feel like I've told this story already, but I'll tell it again. But I was fixing a door. Such a dad thing to do, to fix a door. And I was messing up. I was doing a bad job at it. Like I totally messed the door, and I kept on saying over and over, "Dad, come on, Dad." It's a great replacement for explicit language. If you just shout, "Dad, come on, Dad, you're better than this." So. All right. Speaking of.
Oh, I need to mute myself so I can sneeze.
All right. All right. Speaking of dads, speaking of segues, we should segue. We should segue. Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta have like a segue GIF ready to go that I can just like pop on.
Oh,
and then I could just say,
speaking
of segues.
We should Photoshop the like Lane, Lance, and Dave when they were going and doing the negotiations with Disney. They have this great photo of them sort of like awkwardly standing on these segways, being like, "It's perfect segue material,
dude." It's perfect.
We'll ask Aaron if we can use the photograph, and we're like, "Look, it's segue." I
think it's online somewhere. Hold on.
Oh, it probably totally is. I'm sure Lance has tweeted it at some point. It's great. I love that photo so much.
I just do like a Google search. I'm sure I could find it. It is pretty hilarious because at the time, segues were just so weird. Like they were just like
they were so trendy.
Well, it was just like this. It was like, wow, like these guys. They're like at the time I was like, oh, they got a Segway. It's like that's crazy. It was like
so every time I see segues, I just think of Arrested Development and Job.
Yeah,
it's just so good.
Didn't the guy who invented the Segway? There's a documentary about him, but he died because he segued off of a cliff.
What?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Maybe I had a dream about it, but I'm gonna verify. Can somebody look that up in the comments and verify that the guy who invented the Segway segued himself off a cliff? It's terrible.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, with that in mind,
hold on.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find the Segway. It's burnt in my retina. I want to see the Segway. Okay, but hold on. I'm just looking at pictures. What am I doing? This is my brain. I'm just looking at.
How about instead of like just following your brain?
So speaking of segues,
you can just go through the presentation because I've got some stuff I can talk through.
Speaking of segues.
Did you find it?
No, I'm just looking. This is what I've been doing. Like we have a live stream going on, and there's people waiting on us, and I'm just like sitting in a extra browser,
sitting here looking at pictures,
looking at segue gifs, and then thinking in my head, being like, speaking of segues, oh, they're so weird looking.
It's so weird. Why did anyone ever think this was the thing to make? Oh man, it's such a goofy idea.
What?
Oh man,
people falling on segways is so funny, and I just searched Segway GIF, and it's just people falling.
Oh man,
this is good. This is premium content that we're creating.
Cat Segway, Segway. Yes,
I think
yes, love it.
I think we're just gonna do this the whole time. Just look at Segway GIFs. It makes me feel. Oh, look at Steve. Come on. Okay, we're going to do a. I'm committing to this. One day in the future, we're gonna do an entire live stream on segways.
Oh man!
So we're gonna do that. I've committed us to it. Okay.
I'll call in my robot Segway. Have you seen those where you can actually
No.
like it's a Segway, but you can it's like it looks like a Segway, but it's actually like a screen, so that you can have somebody physically represented in a space who's calling in from virtually. So you get like, look, my head is on a weird
that's
Segway
creepy.
robot thing. It's so goofy.
It's so
Anyways.
weird. Have you actually been to that? Like,
I've seen one. Yeah, I've seen one of those goofy, like, sort of live streamy. Look at somebody. Look, it would be imagine my head and this parrot frame on a screen on top of a Segway that roams around. That's what I want.
Dude,
Maybe
me
we can
too.
find some. Maybe Lane owns one. We
You
can
know-
talk to Lane. Lane, do you own one of these things?
You know what we
Can we
should
borrow it?
You know what we should do? We should once we become gazillionaires and we sell to Disney and make it to the big time. We should use all the money and build a giant factory, and then have if you create an account on the platform, you get your own Segway robot, and then it's all live tracked. So it's like you can literally visit the community in a physical space, and it's all just a bunch of Segways dancing around. That's what we should do. I think we should make a brief and make a plan about that. And then it'll be like a great attraction.
I'll let you work on that creative brief.
I'm gonna do that. It's highly creative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking
Do you
of,
want to go into this talkie thing?
hold
So
on. I have a sound effect for this. Hold on.
Okay. You have
Hold
a
on.
Segway sound effect.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really something. Now for something completely different.
All right. Let's do it. Let's get
I don't
this.
know what that Segway sound was, but I'll trust it.
Yeah, trust it. Okay, let's get this
This
party
has been
started.
an exercise in trust the process.
Trust the process.
I have no idea what's happening. Trust the process.
Oh,
It'll all
man.
be fine. It'll all
Dude.
net out perfectly.
I made a movie. I got a movie funded, and then one producer once told me, because I was really nervous. I was working with the production company for the first time, and she was just like, "It's okay. You're gonna do great. Just trust the process." And I did, and the process failed me, and I wish I didn't trust the process.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Some people create processes that suck.
Yeah.
So do you want to, now that you've segued, welcome to the Moose and Polo show welcome to the Moose and Segway show.
Right.
For the week of Friday, December 10th. I hope everyone's doing great. We don't have any sort of production updates, I guess.
We do kind of.
Well,
Look at
kind
this.
of.
Look
What's
at this. Imai.
Oh, you got a moose?
Imai's been
Who's got your
designing this. Look at this awesome suit.
Yeah.
Look at that suit, everybody. It's a beautiful suit. Imai did this. Hold on. I have a soundbite for this too.
Oh, that's a
Would
good
you look
idea.
at that?
It's a post-it
time for
note.
the Mooseland update.
That's such a
Are you
good
ready?
idea.
Let's go.
Why is it a patch? You should make it a post-it note. That's brilliant.
Wait.
Chili, you're a genius.
Chili.
There's sticky notes everywhere. We need a sticky note room.
Oh
There's
my
nothing
god.
that says corporate, like we
Chili.
need a Kanban room with post-it notes everywhere.
You
Chili,
did
you're
it
a
again.
genius.
You did it again. Dude.
OMG.
You know what's funny? Because the last stream we ended, because I got a whole bunch of sticky notes that I saved, and then like some of them I wrote weekly check-in one-on-ones, and then look at this: spend an hour planning scheduled tweets for this sprint. It's like these are all like I have so many of these. Like when I left, I just like took a whole bunch of sticky notes, CP viral video brainstorms, like. It's really funny.
It's funny because
You can
Oh,
clearly
man,
see
like-
which ones are yours versus which ones are mine. Here.
oh no,
Dude,
mine will
okay.
be like super serious. Do this thing.
Well, you do this thing where you're like, start making funny blog content. It's like that's the least funny sticky note I've ever seen. It's like, how can you make funny blog content when the sticky note for making that funny blog content is so unfunny? Write blog. Oh, this is good. Continue writing blog posts in advance. And then like, mine is like weekly CP memes, and then come up with at least 3 memes, CP shorts vids. So
Yeah. So for context, everybody, this would be a debrief
Yeah.
industry lingo,
Debrief.
which would be like,
oh my gosh.
you have 3 sections up on a whiteboard, and you go start, stop, and continue, and then everybody can just write whatever comes to mind, and then you're like, start making funny stuff,
Yeah.
and
Look
that's
at
how
this.
you end up with an unfunny sticky note, because you just have to get the idea down on paper and put it up under the continue or start.
Did you end up doing this one? Start using story for video scripts.
Kinda. I mean, arguably, yes, because, I mean, you did the Antarctic director reveal. Spoilers.
That was when I saw that video, that YouTube video where they did the whole like Operation Blackout thing.
Kian's video?
I got emotional. In
Yep.
that video. I was just like, oh my gosh, I might do a little dad cry right now. Because I was like,
We poured some energy into that bad boy.
yeah. Well, it just made me think that like Operation Blackout was like the peak. You know, that was like the ultimate. It was like the studio cohesion, or like the ecosystem of the studio was just like
Everyone was on the same page, strangely.
it was
it didn't.
wild.
It was so weird. Everyone was on the same page. Slight differences in that, but everyone was like, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, and the thing is, you couldn't have had it without using Club Penguin as its own irony point.
No, exactly.
That was what made it work. You couldn't. It was a jump the shark moment you could only do once. You couldn't do an Operation Blackout 2. That's what people don't realize. That we spent all the currency of years of pay. It's a payoff for years of leading the story that direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it was a big payoff, and that's why to me it's like it's the spiritual ending of Club Penguin. Not to be brutal, but I think that's where Penguin ends.
Well,
it's really like that's the crescendo.
Well, that's what they even said too. Like when in the video that was made, we should link to it. It's just such a great YouTube video. But they said that after Operation Blackout, all of the art changed. Like that was the beginning of the rollout, where like the old.
As soon as it was like we called it like we would have a takedown. We'd call it a takedown, and a takedown would be like you took the old files and you take them down and you replace them with the default evergreen world, to use corporate speak, right?
Yeah.
So that was literally like when the new town debuted, and so that to me is like, you know, the Club Penguin lore is, you know, riboflavin. You know, I'll contrast him. Like, I don't care if the story was going that direction. Like it just seems like such an opportunity to say like there was some sort of dimension shift that happened.
Like Herbert won. You know, like
yeah, it just because like the world afterwards is so different that I don't know. It's just such a generational jump there at that moment. You take down Blackout, and then up goes the new town that nobody's seen yet.
But like, doesn't that make that like, for whatever reason, I like to think about this. I think we had a conversation about this, but like the fact that like Herbert won, you know what I mean? And the goal of that big crazy machine wasn't to block out the sun, but it was actually to like transport everybody to this alternate reality. Because like when you look at that giant machine, it's like he's like blasting the sun. It's like, is he starting to block out the sun, or is he creating a wormhole?
Yeah,
you can do a lot with it. Yeah, it's so awesome.
Totally. Well, and that's actually the wormhole thing is what I want to lean into with Captain Clockwatcher. Like, I like the idea that there's wormholes in the sky for like transporting between dimensions and times.
They should be actual worms though, because it's birds and stuff. And then you have, in order to get. You should do something where it's like the early bird gets the worm. So like that's kind of like what Clockwatcher says. You can take it or leave it. I don't know.
Early bird gets the wormhole. I'll work with it. Okay. Do you want to go into like these
sure
personality type things?
Yeah.
Because I actually am really super passionate about this stuff. So
okay.
And everybody was involved in this. This is different than like showing, hey, here's the latest art. Instead, this is like, hey, here's some really interesting industry stuff. So if you want to jump to
here, let's just
intro slide.
I'll just put a little segue in for a second. There we go.
Just 1 sec. There we go.
There we go. I just had to get a little segue in there. Okay.
There. So slide 2. If you jump to this, I'll kind of tell you a little bit.
Slide
about
2.
My
Oh my gosh, I skipped it. Yeah.
Changed you. Okay, so there are a bunch of like when you go into the. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Wow, it's snow and brown or gray or something. Anyways, there's a bunch of different, like, they call it psychometrics. There's psychometrics around the world of, like, there's this pattern and this pattern and this pattern. And I got a friend who's designing an app. He designed an app called Listly. So it's actually a really big app that a lot of WordPress bloggers used. And, so talking to founders is always interesting when they come up with stuff. And he's obsessed right now with quadrants. It was just this idea of, like, you have a dimension that goes left and right and a dimension that goes up and down.
It's like the political quadrant or whatever, like when you can see where you are on the political map, kind of like that.
Yeah, well, it's because nothing is that straight up linear. That's like the point of like just modern thinking around anything, is there is no black and white. Everything's a spectrum, right? So in that spectrum, it's like, yeah, sure, there's like a top and bottom of, like, so actually if you go to slide 4 for a second, it's probably, this has got the idea of, okay, there's a quadrant, which is you've got one line going up and down, your X, and you got one as a Y, and you have something like, in this example, this is one quadrant that's got 4 different sort of work styles.
Right.
This comes from a training that I did back at Disney. Actually, this is a Disney training. It was very, very good. Probably the best training I participated in, from like management training and all that. And it's all about building empathy for, my style is different than your style.
Right.
So I don't know if you have the bigger screen so you can actually see this stuff.
Well, I tried to do it.
If you wanna...
Hold on, I have to set it up here.
Yeah, you set it up and I'll keep blabbing.
Just blab away. Here, wait. Yeah. Hold on.
And I'll share some of these images later in the Discord, so you can see them while we're chatting. But in anyways, the idea is, like, I think in slide 3 when you get there. Oh, you're pasting segues.
No, I'm not.
So good.
Hold on. There you go. I think I found my favorite thing. I'm sorry to be so distracting, but I think
you're obsessed.
I think I found my favorite thing to, like, search for on the internet. People falling on Okay, there we go.
Can you go to slide 3 for a second?
Yeah,
so I'm going to talk about, like, there's all these models. So if you, like, hide us and stuff out of here, the chat's cool, but you can hide me. You don't have to see my face. But in here, you've got this idea of, okay, in this example, you have an axis that's active versus sort of passive, right? And said another way, it's like, who's into being, like, really highly, like, sort of high action, high speed versus sort of low speed, thoughtful, right? And then there's the idea of, like, what's more important to me, the world of the game or people? And it's a spectrum across each of these. So any of these sort of quadrant models is kind of a misnomer. You have these sort of big 4 buckets. This example that I'm sharing comes from an old school piece called the Bartle test. This was Richard Bartle back in the 90s, defined this idea based on the behavior that he observed in multi-user dungeons, so MUDs, which would be like your precursor to MMOs.
Oh, cool.
And in this, you have this idea of there's 4 kind of dominant overall styles, where you have basically, like, the people who are playing to be around people. Like, those who are interested in passively just chatting with friends, talking with others. Those are your sort of social, right? Mm-hmm. They're more interested in, they want to be playing with other people, and they're there, like, the game is almost secondary to them. This is a model that I introduced.
That's me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's me.
I introduced this to the Club Penguin team. So I introduced this to the data team, and they would start to contextualize their feature development against this model, this framework. And it's a nice simple framework, because you get this idea of, like, okay, is this person more interested in interacting with others? Like, for example, if you look at killers versus achievers, those are more like active players who want to play like a first or third person shooter to defeat other players, right? And in the case of an achiever, they don't care if that's a real player or if it's a bot. It doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is They're highly active and they want to win, and they care about the achievements. They care about that I am the top of the leaderboard myself, but it could be against bots and it doesn't matter to that group. But a killer, they very much care that they are destroying another player.
Wow.
It has to be a specific person that they defeated,
This
a
is
real
evil.
player.
These are my enemies in gaming.
And so trolls tend to go this way, but usually it's based on the fact that what they're looking for is a sense of a rise out of someone else, right? A real person, not a fake player. Like an achiever would be totally fine to defeat an NPC. That's fine. And it's what's worth acknowledging is that everyone is different. And so with the Quantic Foundry test that a lot of the folks that are in the stream here just took, the team at Quantic Foundry, they started in 2015, and it's founded by some like math nerds that are Stanford grads. Like these guys are like sort of PhD candidates, and they developed a framework that looked at all these different gaming behavior personality inventories and psychometrics and tried to amalgamate them into a master system. Nice. And by this point now, their system, they've tested it. They started small and built it up. You can actually see a lot of their talks on their GDC, on the GDC channel. You can actually see Nick, who's one of the founders of Quantic Foundry. You can see him talking about their methodology and how they got to where they're going. And now they've got, because they've had like 800,000 people participate in the test, they've been able to mature it, grow it, and they have a better idea of like, they've made a recommendation engine. They could do market research for gaming companies. So if you take this idea,
do this now. I wish I did it.
It's super exciting. So I'll take you through 9 types. So it's sort of,
I'm definitely down here, like between Socialite and Explorer. Like I can almost guarantee it, just like seeing.
And you got to see it as a spectrum. Like you may be way all the way to the end, or maybe you're not, right? Like, so everyone, that's what I like about the Quantic Foundry one is like, well, truthfully, there are a zillion different versions of this. Like if you go to slide 2, this is another example of a system.
Hold on, we're segueing to slide 2?
If you want to, you could throw in a segue GIF. Do you need to throw in a segue GIF?
Yes. Okay. So slide 2. Okay, got it. Sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay. Slide 2, got it. But hold on. But these are different quadrants here. So
so one of the things that'll confuse you in this sense, and actually back in my days,
I'm such a visual learner person.
Oh yeah. So don't get hung up on which corner it's in, because these are all just different models, right? But truthfully, they do actually map to each other. And in fact, back in my Disney days, I actually made a version to help explain where they all overlap with each other, because they do actually end up overlapping. Because you basically have like active or inactive or social or more interested in the world. It's like things versus people, or, highly aggressive or assertive versus, again, it's a spectrum. Every one of these models maps to a spectrum. So if you go into, let's go into the Quantic Foundry, because it's just, to me, is a much more mature model. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but if you look at this slide 6, you can see that here are kind of broadly the sort of the 6 buckets. So theirs is not a quadrant so much as it'll eventually map to different quadrants within this. So their model is much more sophisticated. So you kind of have like your main motivation components, right? So action is like, pretty self-explanatory. It's high action. I want to either just have a lot of excitement, or I want to blow stuff up. So like one is, you can kind of see where that becomes the people versus the stuff, right? So you got a people person is like, I want to destroy these things, right?
Cool.
Kind of maps there. Social, there's 2 different spectrums of social, right? So in the old model, where you're talking about killers versus socializers, or said another way, hearts versus what was the one? Clubs. Some people use like trading cards or playing cards. There's the 4 suits. So you can actually map the 4 suits to the 4 Bartle types. So a killer would be a club, and a socializer would be a heart, and an explorer would be a spade for digging, and then diamonds would be like, I want to win all the loot. So you're achievers. Nice little system.
Cool.
But in this one, it's a little bit more complex, right? So socializer, you have like the community people who want to focus on being in a team, chatting, interacting with each other, whereas a competitive social player is like, I want to defeat other players. Like, it's more like that killer type.
Right.
Someone who's more into like mastery, like there's 2 spectrums of this. Mastery could be like, I want to master this challenge against this thing. I want a high challenge. Versus me, I'm more like, I want to sort of I want to think about what I'm doing, make some decisions, plan where I'm going. That a lot of the games that I like to play kind of go in that spectrum, which is different than our broad community. Our broad community, we have a lot of bards that are more into this sort of the story, the fantasy of it, the immersion. You start to see these patterns show up in the player types, right?
Cool.
So you can kind of see these all broadly connecting. So let's just go through each of the types. So what they've done is made this nice, it's too hard to grok the 12 types. So what they've done is there's sort of, those types are components of the gamer types. So they're like, these are aspects that this one is particularly interested in. So you go to the next one, we'll go through each of the 9.
We're going through each of like the...
Yeah, just to the next slide. If you need a segue GIF,
there you go.
I mean, yeah.
Wait, hold on. This is a good one.
There you go.
Look at this. Oh no! Oh shoot! I feel like you if you want to get a segue, you're going to fall. It's like astounding that nobody's wearing knee pads. Okay, segue. Sorry.
Yeah, and so like that's the first one. Okay, so let's talk about the acrobat, right? So acrobats are solo gamers, so they don't necessarily care so much about like, playing with other people. They're more like interested in playing on their own. That's what's their motivator, right? So they want to take on challenging gameplay, and they want to practice over and over again, kind of like Dark Souls. You want to keep playing over and over and over again to kind of get better so you can take on the most difficult missions and bosses in the game. So they enjoy games that are moderately paced, so not necessarily high action, but not necessarily low action. So you can see in the spectrum, this would be kind of in the middle a little bit, right? So what acrobats really care about is the world building and the window dressing around it. So the example that I lean into in this is like Super Metroid, or even the newest, like Metroid Dread, is thematically quite similar, is that it's drenched in theme. You're playing a game and you need to get good at the game. Like there's a skill factor involved. And you can see how on those 12 attributes that was in the previous slide that they have, you can see on the right-hand side, underneath the segue, that one, those 12 attributes, they end up in these pie charts, these sort of percentiles. So, or the
cake
bar charts. Yeah, you know what? I totally failed on my mission to actually include pie and food charts. But
okay, it's okay. I can do it.
If you go to the acrobat, you can see the different components, right? Like, so if it's lower on the percentile, then like 10%.
Wait, where's the acrobat?
7.
No, it says the gardener.
Wait, did you delete it?
Oh, there it is. I did.
Oh.
Haha,
you did.
It was a prank.
I just hit undo.
I did too. Okay.
So on the side, you can the community, like, so fantasy and story. Okay, you see like the percentages of each of these. So anyways, acrobats, we didn't actually have a lot of acrobats. So if you look in our test results of our community, you can see that not everybody necessarily mapped to that. So let's go to the next one, the gardener.
Okay.
So this is one that Tech, you ended up with this one, which is interesting because you're like this. You ended up with a hybrid result, and gardener, you even specifically said Animal Crossing wouldn't necessarily be that interesting to me. So that's where it kind of rubs against, where it's like, well, anyways, the gardener is looking for like sort of quiet, relaxing task completion. So this is very much like
Find
how
Four.
Emma plays. Maybe. I mean, that one's more strategic. Like it's because it's turn based. That would be closer to this, right? Because it's a little bit more relaxing as task completion.
Yeah,
right? So
it feels like,
things.
I mean, for somebody like Tech, who like has a 90% win rate, it probably is like that, because you're just like, I'm just completing the task of beating everybody all the time. It's like,
well, that's very much an achiever behavior. That's her gladiator side, right?
oh, interesting.
Yeah, which comes up later, so we'll talk about that one in a second. So you can imagine the garden. You want all the rules presented up front. The gameplay is more like reactive, like this happens, so I need to do this. Like you're adaptable. You're kind of going, okay, I'm playing Candy Crush, this effect happened, how do I respond to it? They like sort of lower stress, lower anxiety. And actually the reason why Animal Crossing was such a perfect fit for the pandemic is that we live in a pretty stressful time. So there's stress about so much stuff going on that behaviorally, I think we as a society kind of leaned more into this kind of game.
Interesting.
Right? Something that's like, there's so much stress externally that I need a release where I can just plan things out and it's in control. And if I screw up the game, it's not the end of the world. I can just complete some tasks. Like this is Emma. She's playing Dragon Quest Builders 2, and she's totally doing this. It's like, I got to do this task, and then I do this task, and I do this task. It's like Stardew Valley. I do this task, and then I do this thing, and then bring this to the next person.
You know what? It's kind of like this this VR game that I played. What's it called? But it's essentially like a sim where you
it's like a job simulator.
No, it's like you're God, and then you like provide for your people, and you just like plant trees and you make it rain. It's not really it's like, it's super task. You're just like keeping up. They pray to you, and then you give them what they need, and you're like, okay, no. And if you just like have a good pace at it, it's not really hard. It's just like there's a temptation. It's tempting to become evil and like crush people. But for the most part, like when I played it, I just wanted to like, okay, kind of like tending to a garden. Just like, okay, I'm gonna water these trees. Felt really nice. Felt too nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I underestimated, anyways, how long it would take to kind of put together everyone's results. It's going to actually take me a little bit longer than to create. What I want to do is create a persona based on us as a community. Like, if we were a made-up player, what kind of player would we be?
We can do this. So, we can roll this into next week. I think this is cool where we just understand these and then continue next week where we actually go through each player. That sounds fun. I'm sorry I didn't do my test. Yeah. It's been, I don't think I'll ever not have a crazy week.
It gives us some time so that you can submit your stuff into it.
You know what's so funny with this? So like with the latest project that I'm working on, it's super, like I can identify a lot with this like gardener trait, because so much of the work that I do, especially with animation, it's like I try to eliminate guesswork and like plot a route forward where I just have to like move things around and like set up this architecture. So that feels very much like gaming and like a gardener kind of approach. Okay, shall we move on? Yeah.
So the next one is the Slayer.
Hold on.
So you go into this one.
Okay. There we go.
Speaking of Slade. Yeah, so this one, like, this is very much like a Slayer wants to be the hero, the protagonist in a story, as opposed to some of the other behaviors like a skirmisher. Story may not be as big a factor. With a Slayer, they want to dominate the game, but in a rich environment. So they enjoy games with strong creative vision, like a strong narrative design, highly curated narratives and experiences. And actually, they're more solo in their orientation, right? So they're more about their own experience than the experience they get interacting with others. So it's a lower on the interactive spectrum.
Oh, interesting.
And they care very little about power progression or strategic planning. So this is like higher action, right? So they want to get out there and do stuff. So they see games as highly interactive action movies. As an example, I got really excited. I mean, the unfortunate politics aside, the creator of it's this French studio, Detroit Become Human. They're making a new Star Wars game. And
oh, cool.
That would kind of fit into this, where it's like a game as a highly interactive action movie is an example of something that's like, okay, we can see this is narrative focused, and it's a little more on rails, a little less sandbox, and a little more like, okay, this is a story, and I can kind of make choices. So, example, the PSA missions,
Nice.
they're very linear, right? So they're a linear story, whereas Breath of the Wild, super just, kind of do what you want. But there's still some unrails moments. Like there is a beginning, middle, and end. So that's an example of a Slayer.
Yeah.
So
Do you see
in
what I'm doing
contrast to
here?
that next
By the way,
one- yeah, I see.
I'm-
Slayer cake.
I'm doing like I'm real time, just like adding food themes to this. So.
Yeah, I noticed.
Okay.
I'm trying to my ADD brain is trying to not get too distracted by it.
See, my ADHD brain needs to do this to focus on what you're saying.
Yeah, it's totally good.
And
You
it's
should get
like
into sketching.
I do. You should see my notebooks. It's just chaos. Okay, so next.
So next one would be a skirmisher, right?
Ooh.
So that's the first three. So skirmisher is different. There's focused on action and so cluster the first four motivations on the top. They want fast-paced arenas, right? So this is where like your Call of Duties,
Nice.
your Valorant, like basically all the AAA industry focuses on skirmishers, right? So actually, arguably, like possibly Battle Bears fits into this, right? Like that kind of, you want to get in there, you want fast-paced arenas, it's not too challenging, you don't need to do a whole bunch of advanced thinking and planning, it's real time. It's like, bam, here's an arena, go. It's like, you don't have enough information, you don't have time to think, go. And
Right.
that's where like, Battlefield taps into this, right? And it tends to be more male dominated or I'll just say masculine gamer dominated. Those are up the like the masculine behaviors.
Like that guy?
Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
there
Like
you
that
go.
guy.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's a skirmisher.
Cool.
And the next one is the gladiator. And the gladiator is much more likely to identify as a hard gamer. Like again, that's that sort of big AAA, really advanced, crazy features games, and they want a spectrum of features. So this is actually one of the most
that Cody?
expensive.
Did you say that's Cody?
I don't know. Actually, I've not really
Oh,
thought
no.
about individuals.
Oh no.
I just like to think, oh, what'd you do?
Google fixed it somehow.
It's so a gladiator is probably one of the more expensive audiences as a game developer, because you got to think about like, okay, now they want a lot of features, they want a spectrum of features, they want an epic experience that has arenas and explosive gameplay, but also progression loops and challenging gameplay, but they also want strategy, and they also want explore. Like you start to see like
They
that's
want
where
it
these
all.
projects are. They want it all.
Yeah.
Like a gladiator wants a really hard and from a business perspective, a really expensive set of features. Like
Oh,
this
boy.
is so like look at that list of features. Like I look through that and I go like, holy smokes.
Holy
Like
Toledo.
if you dive into something like Black Desert Online, that game is vast. There are so many features. It's got deep fishing game over here, something else over there. Like they've got idle mechanics and they got
So
progression.
this is the somebody
loops.
who these are the people that do like speed runs of the entire Club Penguin game.
But
they
really like across everything,
yeah.
every different like
like
it's
the
almost
stamp,
like
the stamp speed runner where you
Morgan
have to
Ward.
go like. Have you seen that video where somebody did like the stamp speed run where they got like 50 stamps, and they had to like literally do like every piece of the game? Or is that a different play type?
it kind of fits into that a little bit. Yeah, it's like that achiever. I want to go check everything off the list. I want all the stamps. I don't want just one stamps to be across a wide variety of gaming types, mechanic types. Like I kind of see a gladiator as a bit like a smorgasbord. Like you got to do all this stuff, and that's why it's actually, if you are MVPing and thinking about making your own game, this is a really hard audience to start with. I think this is a better fit for AAA. If you're an indie studio, man, you got your work cut out for you to build something for this audience.
It's like Grand
anyways,
Theft
that's
Auto. Okay.
The big stuff. And so a ninja is more like, the next one on 12.
I'm on it.
They care about difficult challenges, but they also want strategic decision making. They want it to be very fast paced, very competitive, right? So this is like your Street Fighters. This is Tekken. Street Fighter, Smash Brothers. Like, Smash Brothers is an interesting one because very active, and it's very competitive, and it's against other players. Oh, look, Weston.
Happy birthday, Weston.
Can't see anything. So the where was I?
If you want me to stop, just tell me.
Well, I just can't see when you do that. And I'm like, what was I thinking about? So really, like they're testing their skill against other players. So again, this is more other player versus like a ninja wants to. Their goal is to assassinate. Their goal is to spy on a competitor. It's a competitor. Like it's just a competitor archetype. They don't care about completion as much, right? So that's what's kind of interesting about this persona. And interestingly enough, I don't think we have anybody come back with a ninja result so far. We've had no ninjas come back in our survey. So yeah, just kind of interesting to think about. So next one, if you want to paste in a cake that you can fiddle with first on the bounty hunter, then
bounty hunter. Hey, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, bounty hunter. So a Slayer type that we talked about earlier, they want like more of an on rails cinematic experience. Like I'm walking through a movie, I'm playing a movie. The bounty hunter wants a game world they can customize, right? And we did have some folks come back with this. So the idea where, the Slayer may have low discovery and desires. See, you're seeing with this one that this behavior seems to be much more interested in discovering things, designing the world, designing worlds, designing quests, and then power progression and leveling up. So RPGs lend this way. Like that's why Mass Effect is kind of a good analogy for this one, because Mass Effect is quite linear, or not non-linear rather. I can't even think. Now it borked my screen. Look at that. I can't do anything.
What borked your screen?
Refresh my screen now. Oh,
Did
you
I
keep doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, it crashed my Chrome.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Chrome. Well, it's okay. Let's.
You can see like Mass Effect is very story rich, but it's much more sandbox, right? So you can go out. There's lots to do, lots to explore. A whole lot less on rails, right? So if you ended up with a bounty hunter result, that means like really you're looking for a little bit RPG in the sense that you want to progress your player. Now, an architect, the next one, they want planning and decision making that leads to progression. So I want to make a decision that has an effect down the line. So as an example, Civilization, I play a lot of kingdoms that is like this. If I make a stupid decision in Three Kingdoms, down the line, if I'm playing, say, Total War Three Kingdoms, if I make some strategic move that screws up my my highly calculated, it's like basically a sequence of points. If I do this, it will have this effect, which will affect this. This is like clockworks. If I do this game thing, it will lead to that game thing.
Right. That's more like the God thing game that I played in VR.
Yeah, and God mode is kind of like this, like where you're up on high from a God view and you can control what everything is doing and micromanage everything. An architect is really interested in this. This is the one I can probably speak to the easiest because this is where I ended up. Like this is kind of my style. I prefer slower paced. I prefer it to be relaxing and thoughtful. I like to think about what I'm doing, where I'm going. I really do not care about teamwork or competition in my games. In fact, it's almost a break from interacting with people in a way. It's like I just want to think about the game mechanics and where they're going. It's like almost like very highly strategic solitaire. But the last one is the one that you'll probably be interested in because of the fact that so many members of our community, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, ended up as a bard. And that's the social players who want to chat and interact with others in a game world that's rich with lore. It has stories, it has discovery, it has customization. They want to be part of a grand story of other players, and they want to work together. It's the together factor. It's the same thing. You want to know that you're working together to shape the world and to shape the stories.
Yay.
So Club Penguin had this in spades, because you had this idea of, we would go as a team, and my team would work on the newspapers, but we wouldn't just go and write a newspaper and go, look, the newspaper's done. We would go, okay, what's the latest and greatest that's been happening in the community? We would look at all the insights, we would look at the statistics, we would look at where people were going, how people perceive the stories, and we would alter the story or adapt the story or just keep going on what we already had planned, to kind of make it so that the players were part of the unfolding of that story. And we were talking earlier about Operation Blackout. That was a perfect culmination of a story that did that, which was the players were part of crafting and shaping that story. Spoiler alert, the ninja lead up also did the same thing. At the time, there were a bunch of different rumors about what happened in the world, about where ninjas were or whatnot. We just made that into reality. That's a great example of, there were rumors and myths. We incorporated that into a hint kind of way, in an unexpected way. So it wasn't exactly what people thought it was. It was slightly off, but it at least was pointing towards a direction where, it's not about power progression and task completion. It's about being organically in the world with others and seeing what emergent roleplay happens. And I don't think it's a massive surprise that, like an Animal Crossing fits into this. Like, Animal Crossing is tapping into some of those behaviors that we had in Club Penguin. The vibe worlds in Roblox kind of tap into this as well. Final Fantasy XIV has a really rich tapestry of world, characters, places, things to see, experience, and do. Those all fit into this kind of persona.
Cool.
So it's really, if I were to pick one of the, in terms of the main worlds themselves that we are planning right now, this is a sweet spot for us. Like, really, it makes sense to design a system for bards, where bards can interact with each other. There's social play, there's discovery, there's customization of your outfit, all of those kinds of ideas. That's kind of, I think, pretty high up our list of, at least for the world itself. That's excluding mini games. And where I think Penguin is interesting is Penguin had this kind of backdoor system, I'll call it, where you could essentially add experiences and games that sit on top of the bard experience. So the main foundation is a bard environment in a Penguin context, where you can walk around the world and you can role play with each other, but then you could go into something that's highly competitive. Like, Karjitsu was different than a lot of other Penguin games, because it was very much like, okay, this is Karjitsu, this is very competitive. I'm playing head to head against another player. But the nice thing is, you add that to the bard experience. Like, the bard is your baseline, and then all the mini games can serve these different audiences. So if someone comes in, like for me, when I first, again, I'm an architect, I think like a solo player. So for me, what was most interesting was going into PSA mission, where I could get drenched into a story on my own, all that kind of stuff. So Polly is saying shrug.
Shrug? Well,
I don't know what that was.
Just see what I'm putting it on. Wait, you moved on. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, there we go.
Oh no, it's fine.
Wait, hold on.
There.
Wait.
How's your attention doing?
Great. There we go. Check this out. This is a good one. Oh, that's nice. That's a good segue. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so here's an example. If we were to theoretically take all the features of Penguin and group them into these sort of 6, in the very first slide I shared, where all those different player types kind of map to each of these like components. No, in slide 6.
This one.
Yep. So in here, there's 6 in that gray bucket at the top: action, social, mastery, achievement, Those are kind of just easy to remember.
Yeah,
right?
I
It's
like
kind of
that.
hard to keep track of all the 9, but the 9 map into each of these. And the 9 are kind of a combination of the different sets. So it groups up, and I'll share how that sort of groups up in a later talk. But really just the idea is like, you've got these buckets. Okay, let's take mini games, parties, features of the world, and use Penguin as an example of how those all kind of map and how many features kind of end up in those buckets, right? So if I look at stamps, that's very much an achievement bucket thing. Quite clearly, it's an achievement system. If I look at playing Kart Surfer, that's something where I just want action. I want fast-paced action. Is it like the greatest action game in the world? No, it's a simple distraction and a quick way to earn coins. But if you're into that mechanic and you're more action-oriented, that's like a feature for you, right? So same thing, like if you're into the social side, it shouldn't be surprising that social is very high on the list of, this is just a simple count. So it's not any kind of more weighted than that. But you take the idea of like, okay, all the social things like sending postcards, that's a social payoff thing, right? Like, Moose, postcard me, Moose.
Oh, dude, that was really frustrating because I couldn't. There's something I couldn't. No, I couldn't.
So hard. You couldn't
Like
do it at
most.
all?
Well, what was it? There was something where it's like it was full or something. Like I just couldn't do it, and it was really
when
annoying.
their inbox was full.
Like everybody's
you
inbox was
wouldn't
full.
Deactivate the send button. So the problem is you would have to go this person, click send, pick the postcard you want to send, try and send the postcard, and it goes, their mailbox is full. Rather than just disabling the button. Like, yeah, this is where like it's important to play the games you make. If you guys are making your own games, please go play them. Play the games. Otherwise, you end up with this like scenario where it's like you don't even know the problems that you've created.
Look at
this because you don't use the feature.
This is these 2 postcards. I would send this a lot, I remember. And then look at this one. This is a classic Polo thing. Join a team, and then I'm like, I'm your biggest fan, and then you're like, participate. It's great. Did you send that a lot? Join the blue team?
No.
Did you
I sent whatever felt right for the person.
Oh.
I'm an individualist, right? So I personally based on who.
Right.
So my tone will change. I'm an adaptable individualist maximizer. Remember, right?
Right.
So
Right.
take those 3 skills, put them together. My skill is this person needs this. Okay, here's the right postcard for you. I was more like, this person needs this message right now. This person needs this message. But it was really hard to do when you had a big room, and I'm not thrilled about the overwhelm of 100 people in a room. That's not like my first joy because I can't keep track of anything. I like to be able to keep track so I have enough information. I can see who's there, and I go, okay, Midnight asked for a postcard. Okay, what postcard am I going to send to Midnight?
Right.
Like I would try and tailor it.
But how
Anyway,
do you
so you get an idea
how do you
there.
even do that with the giant crowd
Exactly.
swarming you? For me, I was just like, as much as I possibly could. It's like, because I
You
knew
were just
that-
like, hey.
Well, it's like giving away Halloween candy. You're not like, I'm going to give you the best thing that you want. I'm just going to, you get a candy, you get a candy, you get a candy type
Yeah,
thing.
you're like Oprah.
Yeah.
I'll call you postcard Oprah.
I am Oprah. Post Oprah, as you can call me. That's what people call me. People call me Post Oprah. Hold on, I have to change.
So anyways, you get the idea. Like, so in this, when I look at mapped stuff, to me, I think we didn't go deeply enough into design, discovery, creativity as much as I would want. I'm a big fan of creating creative tools that people can use, right? And the other one to me is like immersion. Penguin really didn't have a lot of it. I look at it and I'm like, okay, what immersion do we have? The newspapers, the missions. Other than that, like in terms of story, it was so hard to try and tell any kind of story in Club Penguin. Like, it was frustratingly difficult.
That's what makes Operation Blackout.
Actively, internally, fought against story. They're like, the kids should be the stars. They should come up with their own stories. I'm like, no, Some players will do that.
Yeah.
Some players will absolutely not, and they want to consume a story. So this is where you have to be strategic with what features do I have, who's the main audience, what do they care about the most, and you have to observe from data and like figure out how do these things map, right?
That's what
Like,
makes
is Thin
Operation
Ice
Blackout
serving
like
athlete?
yeah. That's why it was like such an anomaly that it succeeded so well.
Mhm.
Operation Blackout.
And so all of the lore, we had to try and find ways. I mean, I'm just frustrated about lore because we had to fight so constantly against the forces that had their own cognitive biases. Who were like, no, kids need to come up with all the stories. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome baseline.
But it's funny because
there's
like
an audience that cares about this.
but what does that even mean? Like it's really hard to, you need a prompt, and a lot of the times there's it's like the fractal thing, right? Stories are embedded within other stories, and it's kind of difficult to come up with like a narrative when you have just like a few tools, like an items. Like some people can do it, but if you look at most of the people just were joining collective stories. Like I always use this, like Pookies. That's like a story that you can join in on, right? And so Penguin, I guess the role of stories would have been more to like create more jumping off points and create like
it's a facilitator. It's like if you have kindergarten, you have a bunch of 5, and you just say, okay, everybody, go. The 5-year-old is just going to run and do whatever they want, and it's going to be complete chaos.
Yeah.
And that has its place. But there's a reason why the facilitator, being the teacher, will say, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to draw pumpkins today because it's Halloween. And then you go and you do sort of like an experience for a period of time. And then like, okay, kids, let's go play for a while. But there's a time box on that too.
Right.
It's like, okay, kids, open creativity time. I mean, this gets into like Montessori versus other teaching methods, and it's because every person is different, and some people are higher creative, some people are lower creative. It's all this is why I like these systems, because you can think differently,
right?
Instead of me being like, I'm going to design for the architects because I'm designing for myself.
Right.
When they say designing lore for yourself, that's what this means. So
Anyways,
there we go. We'll talk more about it later.
That's awesome.
An idea.
It got my wheels spinning a lot. I love this kind of stuff. It's like
and you can't design for everyone.
Yeah,
that's the reality.
You can't design, but you can consider, as you know, I love just like considering the wide range of what people are like play needs. You know, like what people need when they are, you know, experiencing a product like Mooseland, a product or a world like Mooseland or Party Parrot.
And it's okay to not hit every bucket.
Yeah.
You know, you can make an experience that's only for one audience.
Totally.
It doesn't have to fit everybody. And if you have a variety of that helps. So there you go. Anyways, This is stuff I care deeply about. So segue. You're not even showing the segue right now.
Yeah,
you gotta show your segue.
Dude, I am.
Oh! All right. There you go. There you go.
Oh, it's so good. I'm seriously like, this is my new pastime. Just watching people fall off segways. It's so awesome. Look at him go. Okay, so
let's check out some art, shall we?
That's a great idea. Thank you, Agent. What should we add for the subtitle? Hold on. So we
should add, I'm going to go get a coffee and go to the bathroom.
Hey, TMI, Polo.
Hey, everyone's got to pee at some point.
Everyone's got to.
It's reality.
That's true.
Especially if you're elderly like me. So,
somebody said we should
take it away, Moose.
We should repurpose a mini game to be like a Segway mini game. I was also thinking like a Segway mini game. And we'll just like try to make it the exact looking segues and environment that Lance Lane and Dave were in. Just like make like a hilarious, just like make that image into some sort of racing game.
Oh yeah, we should illustrate that image. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Commission. We'll get add it to your list.
Somebody on it.
Yeah, Ema, get on it. And then also I was thinking like a game with a bunch of business moves running on a beach. Okay, great. Polo's gone. Let's just look at Segway gifs. This one's pretty good. Look at it. What the heck? Look what happens. What is going on here? See, these are terrible things. Why would you want to do it? Oh, that's the same one. I can't get enough. What is this? That looks terrifying. What was getting Happy Wheels vibes from these gifts? Yeah, me too. I'm just getting like happiness from looking at this. Oh, that's just a. Oh man, we've seen these before. What's this? Oh yeah. What? Oh yeah. This is just good stuff, man. Look at this. That's not a segue, but you know, poor guy. What's this one? Why do people even make gifts like this? What's this? Is this like a guy? Oh! So unexpected and awesome. Oh, you guys. How's everybody doing? Everybody feeling okay? Feeling great? That was a really good presentation that we did there. I'm extra bouncing off the walls today for some reason. Good. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Just like I said, it's been a crazy week. And I've got a lot of Lego. It's official. I have too much Lego. I have way too much Lego that I got to go through. Look at this. I picked up this this is just like a bag of minifigures that I got. And I need to sort through them all, and it's exciting to see. And like I got a Homer Simpson one, which is kind of cool. You got the bonsai tree on your birthday. That's awesome. I'm still trying to arrange Nico Vass. He designed the bonsai tree. I want him to come on the stream and talk about fun Lego stuff. He's a great guy, and he designed the bonsai tree. He's kind of like the tree guy. He like mastered the art of making trees. Oh, speaking of trees, my plant. I just noticed my plant needs to be watered. It's like dying. Shoot, it was like my Father's Day dad gift. Does that mean I'm a bad dad if I kill the plant that was given to me for Father's Day? Is he gonna fall? Let's see. Fun Lego stuff, you say? Urge to bring up Lego Dimensions intensifies. Oh yeah, I've never played Lego Dimensions, but I have. I just found this, which is kind of cool. The best part of Lego Dimensions is the minifigs. Everyone say goodnight to my Spooter. Good night, Spooter. We love you. Good night, Spooter man. Wait, hold on. Did you post a picture on the pets? I want to post it on the stream. Where's that? Can you send me a picture of your Spooter? So we can all. Where is it? Good night, Spooter. We love you. Where is that? Man, I am just like in a different universe right now in my mind. Wish there's a way, maybe in the future, we'll be able to experience each other's thoughts. Maybe that would be terrible. Look at this Spooter, everybody. Look at this Spooter. Look at that. Terrifying. That thing will get you. That thing is gonna just like crawl into your ear and come out the other side. And then you'll have dreams that are super spootery. Is this a picture of Nomming on a fly? Is that what the Spooter's doing? She's scared of me. Well, I mean, wow. What's your Spooter's name again? Is it like Delilah? Naomi. I should know this. I'm a bad moosey. I'm a bad dad for not knowing what the Spooter name is. Naomi. Aw, cute Naomi. I want to get a sense of scale. Is this a big spooter or a little spooter? Could you throw a banana in your spooter area so we can like and take a picture so we can see like, is this a big spooter? Is this a teeny spooter? Like what's going on with this? She's tiny. Like how tiny? Like give me some scale, like the size of. Yeah, get a banana. Yeah. Put the banana in the in there, please, and take a picture. Will you do that for us, please?
Bravo!
All right. Let's just move here. Okay, so we're gonna move on because Polo he's just off in his own world having a wonderful time. So we're just gonna let him do that, and we're gonna segue over here. So Dialga 22239. A cursed edited Christmas song. What? Should be safe to be played on the stream. I have not heard this yet. I haven't heard this yet. This is we're gonna do a react. Oops. This is gonna be the react segment of the stream right now. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm gonna react to this music. This is new. Are you ready? Wow. Amazing. Dude. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Is this like audio mukbanging or something? Feels so indulgent in the best way possible. Oh!
I'll have two number 9. Number 9 large. A number 6 with extra dip. A number 7.
Dude.
Two number 45.
What
One
is
cheese.
this?
And a large soda.
Amazing.
You're amazing.
Have you heard are you hearing this right now?
No, I can't hear anything that you're playing. So
You're missing out.
what did we say about trust the process? This is very much trust the. Like, okay, whatever.
Oh.
You look great. looking good, man. High
Oh, you're
resolution graphics.
You're here.
Oh, I'm here.
Wow.
Look at that hair.
That was something. I felt like
Was it something?
I felt like that was like I just played the Dialga track.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my gosh. That felt like a brain massage. It felt like an audio mukbang or something. It was just like so amazing. It felt like
Were there people eating
yeah,
food in it?
Yeah, it felt
Was
like
that
my brain just consumed a whole. Who did this? Did you do that?
No.
Oh yeah, I guess people can come in and edit this. What's this? Oh, what a great world we live in. Man, I feel like I'm a new person now. I feel like I just
Have you got
got
through the submissions?
a brain. No, We literally were just like we're just looking at segue gifs.
Of course you were.
Look at that one. Oh no. Why would anybody want a segue? Why? It's like, what the heck? That's kind of cool. Look at this. Sweaty palms right here. Oh my gosh. He's going to fall. It's like guaranteed you're going to fall. Those things want to break your ankles. Okay. Okay, here we go. Dialga, it's a moose from Mooseland. Okay. This was made before it got renamed. LOL. Well, it's still Mooseland. Mooseland is still the land of the moose. Man, I feel like I need to like throw up after listening to that song, but like in a good way, like in a cleansing, purging way. That's like, it actually affected me like that much. And you haven't heard it yet. It's like an audio wash. I need to go like have a bath. I need a bath with lots of Epsom salts. Hold on. I just need to reflect on what that was. Wow, that was amazing. Okay, what's this? Was it stream out of context?
Indeed.
Are you doing this? Who's posting this? Oh man, are you? Oh wow,
I don't know who's posting this. There's no username at the top.
Oh, it says anonymous hippo. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about like in Google Drive.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Dialga. So this is awesome.
Let's check out some art, shall we?
It's a moose. I love this kind of stuff. I also love the fact that like the water cooler looks like it might have coffee in it.
I also just love the idea that you're sort of hiding a secret agency behind.
Would you look
No,
at
we got to
that?
do work. Serious work, important work.
Well,
But it's actually this.
But it's funny though, because like the philosophy around like Mooseland and everything that Moose does is like is kind of like the whole like finding the meaning in the meaningless. You know what I mean? Like you're a secret agency, but you're investigating what? Like there's like I want it to be like a feedback loop, and more along the lines of like you have
You want it to be like an Excel when you it's like you create an infinite loop accidentally.
Yeah,
When
totally.
you're like this cell equals this cell.
Yeah, and I was thinking like I really like when it's a secret agency. Like I'm not imagining like maybe it could get dramatic eventually, but it's more like the functionality would be more like armies or Pookies or something where it's more just like whoa, that was oh my gosh, what happened?
Ah, you're welcome, stream. Sorry. How's everybody's Friday or Saturday? Is it Saturday anywhere yet? Thank you.
No, bless you. Oh my. Okay, and yeah. So I was just thinking, like in the future, just like thinking about ideas. I think we were talking about this like a couple weeks ago in the chat, but and how we could create like an armies functionality where you can like just like NFTs. I know, big eye roll, but you can mint like an outfit. And if you get enough players that are wearing that same outfit, that becomes like a tribe that then becomes your own like secret agency. And then you could like go in and then acquire other secret agencies. So like there's like this weird acquisition that's like goes on within the community. So it's like if enough people wear like the Nachos army, you know, and then they decide to like all collectively become like mint their tribe or their secret agency, and then like there's like a layer within, so like some people within that secret agency can start another secret agency that is like all about investigating that secret agency, and it just like kind of goes in. So it's definitely like for now going to be a lot more of like a role playing type thing in Mooseland. So we're not going to like do like these big giant involved missions. That might come, but I love the idea of just having the community role playing in a really fun and simple way, and just like Operation Blackout, whatever manifests out of the role play, if it becomes silly, if sharks come into the play, that becomes like canon eventually. Do you know what I mean? Just like Operation Blackout. I like that kind of stuff. So yeah, so whatever kind of gets manifest in the basic kind of role play functionality of the game kind of will become eventually like canon story.
Yeah, you just make a system that makes systems.
A systematic system maker. I like systems. Okay. Oh, look at this. That's cute.
You know what I love about your art, Dialga, is I love in these two pieces that you've put up here, that they're like, it kind of almost reminds me of like Laird era Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Like if you've looked at the old '80s like original Ninja Turtles pre Archie, and they're like super violent, but even just the art style, like of that sort of like high contrast. I think is what I mean, you know? Like,
yeah. I love it.
Love it. I love the contrast.
I want to see like a comic. I want to see like looking at these makes me really want to see like a really awesome like comic strip or something.
I don't know if we captured the amazing. Like I love the ASDF movie style of comic that Quack does. The like Afroclad. I love his like very ASDF movie style comics. So eventually, like, yeah, I'm gonna get him to do some comic stuff. It's just a question of when. He's like, well, how come we haven't done anything yet? I was like, well, we don't even know what the characters are yet. So, oh yeah, and look at these, man, Bitsy, you're so talented.
This is Bitsy. I think this is new. This wasn't in here, so I'm just gonna throw this up. This was Bitsy.
Mm-hmm.
This reminded me of like the same kind of art style in a weird way. Man, can the sharks be like a crossover character that appear in both of our worlds, but like the sharks come like from the... I love the sharks. There's something about sharks that
I love the sharks, but I don't think you need to. I think it's good to have like two distinct worlds and stories where we can experiment in different ways. You're really gonna... No, you're totally trying... Don't crash my system.
Oh, sorry.
My poor MacBook.
Isn't that server side though? You should be fine.
No, it's all on my...
Oh shoot! What am I doing?
I have to render it all.
You do? Oh my
all right,
gosh.
I'll
Okay,
reload
wait,
my
on.
browser.
Did
Stop it.
Did it really crash for you? I'm so sorry. Okay. Submitted by...
Poor Ram.
Wait, what is this? Emai. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah, so
Crush.
fun fact
This is
about
the
this.
joke.
Okay, so Crush the Joy is actually like, okay, it's a total joke that we had internally.
Wait.
Right? Okay, what are you doing here?
Business
So-
101. Oh, that's awesome.
Crush the Joy is totally from Lance. Lance
He hates fun.
is pre-Disney, and he's like the most fun guy you know. Like he's just super fun and nice. And he would come in, and it was always this irony thing because he'd come into the room and be like, "Crush the Joy," and then he'd leave. And it was just hilarious. This ongoing running joke of he'd come in and be like, "That's awesome, crush the joy," and then he'd leave. But it was actually coming from a place where when I was talking to him about this, he's like, "What on earth is that?"
Sorry, I didn't read. We'll go back to that, but continue your story.
Okay.
With Crush the Joy.
Yeah, so anyways, Crush the Joy actually is a life lesson to learn. When you are doing creative work for payment, be it a writer, an artist, etc., if you attach too much of your personal love for something, your client can say, "No, delete that." And so there is a Crush the Joy. If you attach too much of yourself to the documentary film that you're making, and your client goes no, and you've spent 6 weeks building something like some Greek. In the writing world, they would say "kill your darlings," which is a much harsher way of saying it.
I would say Crush the Joy is harsher than Kill Your Darlings. Because
I mean, but the point of it is like if you get too attached to something. You know, it's like, well, from the Kill Your Darlings thing, when you're writing, it's like, you know, we used to, like, Emma would do this to Cody all the time. Cody would have some sentence he loved, and Emma would cut it.
Dude.
And he'd be like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "That's my favorite sentence." She's like, "I know, that's why I cut it."
But
Like, why did you do that? That's
I still
awful."
don't.
It's like,
I would love to explain the rationale of that, because it's like...
the rationale behind that is, does the rest of the work stand up without your precious little idea in there? And usually, no.
But
So
if
it's a
it
great
doesn't,
exercise.
and then can you just like put it back in to make that person feel good about their
course.
work? Okay.
Of course, why not? Like the truth is, like, the point is to not attach to something that people are just going to throw away.
Right.
From the case of, like, if you're a game developers have to do this same thing, because everyone's going to come in and go, "Don't do that. I don't agree. This is a bad idea." So if you've attached all kinds of emotion and care and joy to something, and you've almost care too much, it really stings when everyone rejects it.
No,
So
I've thought a lot about this, and so the Kill Your Darlings thing is I have a hard time with it. Even the Crush the Joy thing, like, I get it, but for me, it's like there's no such thing as like wasted work. So even if you've put
Totally.
and like I've done this by experience, because in making music videos, I always know all the work, because like whenever I make any type of video, there's like so much that like got cut out, or there's so many compositions or sequence or footage that just gets like that never got edited or used. But over my time as a creative, it always gets repurposed in some way. Yeah. So it's not like kill your darlings. It's more just like put in your back pocket, or like I want to come up with a new phrase that isn't as like, because if you can understand that for sure, but some people it's like they can't see past the harshness of it. So if it's more of just like
well, some people have to get over themselves and see past the harshness. Like the world, you have to choose how you respond to something. You can't control what your client asks you to do. Now you can quit, but ultimately you cannot control the world. You can't control the language.
Well, what becomes for me, it's just like when I have a client,
choose how you respond.
Like and a client doesn't like something, I don't throw it away. I just like, I'll use that for something else
just
eventually.
back pocket.
Yeah, I like the back, like put in your back pocket. I like that. Maybe
it's basically it's a reality check, and it's a hard reality check.
I just don't know I just don't know if it needs to be a hard reality check. That's
no, of course it doesn't. And to be honest, I mean, deal with this thing that it needs to be.
Because it's like, yeah, maybe like.
And truthfully, you just don't like listening to feedback, Johnny.
No, I definitely do like listening to feedback. It's awesome. It's just more like a lens to put onto it, because like I've like I save a lot of my work. Like my work is like a remix, right? So it's like I don't like at the beginning of my career for sure. Like I didn't listen to a lot of feedback, and it was a lot harder. But now, like when I learned that you just like save it for later.
You get better at jazz. It's kind of like as you become a more accomplished jazz musician.
Yeah, totally.
You can adapt better, right? So make that mistake again.
But it's like a systematic approach, kind of, where it's like you're working on something creative, and whenever I get feedback, I try to it's a hard lesson. You gotta be able to take it, because you're going to get feedback you don't like. Yeah, I mean, geez, I would not have a career if I didn't take feedback very good. So like, use it however you want. Yeah. Wait, Polo made this funny comment, so I took it to the extreme. Use it how you want. Crest the joy. Yeah. I just think it's like a really like.
Also, by the way, make sure I say yes if before you run off and do something, Imai. I didn't actually say yes. You just went and did it. So in the future, no thanks. Anyway, so we should move on to the next thing.
Sure, let's do it.
As I'm just aware that we're already at 2 hours.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so much more to go through. Okay,
well,
Discord.
we could do a couple more and then move on to next. We don't have to feature it this week. We can always continue next week.
Okay, and we're just doing directly from the the master slide. This isn't even an edited. This is like directly from the community slide. So, okay, here, travel talk. Oh yeah, this was awesome. I love hearing this in the chat. I'm gonna just change the music to be a bit more calming and relaxing and nice. Yeah, you know what? It kind of made me sad though, because it's really hard to travel with little kiddies, and pandemic just ramps it up. So hearing all this talk of traveling is awesome, but it's like, shoot, I missed it. I miss traveling.
I'm trying to
so
ignore
bad.
that. Especially, I live with an expat, right? So she very much wants to be in.
Right.
So it's I try and sort of block all travel talk right now.
Aw. Okay. And then counting numbers. Oh, the numbers has been awesome. I just love the story time that's been happening. And we've been making it without disrupting. Where are we at now? I should check up on it. And I just love the creativity, and I love how there's storytelling kind of being incorporated within it. Oh yeah, okay, so we're at 93. That's awesome. Let's make it to 100, everybody. Get back to work. Language exchange.
See, get back to work is just as harsh as crush the. Get back to work.
Yeah, but you know.
Another one of our running jokes. Get back to work.
Get back to work. What is this? A nightmarish donkey? That's awesome. From Agent Psycho. Is Agent Psycho here? Miss that guy. I missed it. I haven't been on the chat as much this week. My bucket is empty. I need to go back on there and hang out. It's just been a crazy hectic week. Awesome. Awesome stuff, you guys. Oh, man.
Yeah, white cheddar mac and cheese is delicious.
What?
I mean, those are the kinds of things that make it hard to be vegan. I was vegan.
Are you still vegan?
I was quite serious 2 or 3 years. No.
No, it's
I believe
hard,
it's a
man.
better choice, but it is. You have to be dedicated.
You have to be freaking
In some
dedicated.
ways, it's easier because you just literally know every time I go to a restaurant, I'm going to customize. Like, yeah. But anyways, these are some of the temptations that are hard to resist. And we also live in the Pacific Northwest, so beautiful sockeye salmon is also hard to resist. But
Well, it's
make sure it's ocean wise.
Yeah, definitely make sure it's ocean wise. I worked for Ocean Wise for a while, and it totally changed my perspective on like sustainability and stuff. And it's more of like I understand like the boycott approach, but it's if like to change a market, you just like your buying power. It's like
There's a Wham song, isn't there? Like, if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah. Like I understand the stark reality of what we realized while doing all that work, because like we were focusing on like eliminating plastic straws and all that kind of stuff for sustainability. But when you actually talk to climate scientists and people who are doing the research in the Arctic and everything, and they're like, yeah, that's more of like to make yourself feel better. It's like it's what's really gonna like how you can really change is for sure, like if we move the marketplace over and like I think the organic movement did it, where it's just like enough people bought organic and it made it like a viable business model to have like an organic farm.
Vote with your dollars, man.
Yeah,
It's like
and like it's so unrealistic to imagine the whole world becoming vegan, but if you get people to like buy like support like sustainable like farms or sustainable fisheries or all that kind of stuff, then that could have like more of an impact on the future. But it's just like it's such a scale issue because there's so many humans, and like we can do our best in like the Western world, but there's some there's like a huge amount of people in all these different countries that aren't getting the same messaging or anything. So wisdom teeth are fun. Not. Oh my gosh. Are some of you guys getting your wisdom teeth out? Oh, Imai, did you get your wisdom teeth taken out? Oh, that's terrible. I just like it was like that was my first kind of experience getting knocked out with an anesthetic, and that was a weird experience. Oh, you have them. Are you going to get them out? Ooh, you should get them out. It's a crazy experience. Oh man, I do not want to be back in that position.
And if you're lactose intolerant and you go with like something that doesn't have dairy in it, or get Lactaid. That's my lactose intolerance advice.
Oh, right.
for wisdom teeth, it is related.
Wait,
it's related.
wait.
It's not just that I wanted to.
That wasn't a non sequitur. What was that about?
No. Has to do with wisdom teeth. Like if you're getting your wisdom teeth out, they're like, just eat ice cream, you'll be fine.
Oh.
But if you're lactose intolerant, you're like, no. I need to figure out a way to do like, ice cream.
Yeah. Well, coconut ice cream. Do you have coconut ice cream?
Oh, so good.
So
Gets
good.
pricey though.
Yeah, that's the issue. But or like, you freeze the banana and run it through a juicer. That makes some pretty interesting ice cream. It's good for kids too. Like,
yeah, you can basically only have liquid, sort of soft things after you get your wisdom teeth out. I have a wisdom tooth I need to take out, so I'm not looking forward to it.
You have one wisdom. Oh, you just one left? Oh man, are you gonna get knocked out for it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy experience. They like
just one.
I got like they give you a needle and then like a bubble pops up in your skin, and then they're like, and I remember being like. How long is this? Like, how long is it gonna take for me to get knocked out? And they're like, bye bye, and then I wake up and my mouth is like, oh my God, like what happened? It's like it's like you snapped a finger. It's cool though, but not that cool.
Can we talk about cute dogs instead?
Let's talk about cute dogs.
Cool.
I think we need a segue here.
I can't have it. I can't have a dog because I got a cat. Who, by the way, I'm considering making the villain of the parrot world. I was kind of thinking like he could be the leader of the Stoats. Who could make my jerk cat, who thinks he's an inspirational leader. I'll make him the evil overlord of Party Parrot.
That's awesome. That would make sense actually if the cat was like the bad guy. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's like the head of all the Stoats, the Stoat Empire.
What's this here? Scary Carrie invaded text email inbox? What?
Mariah menu. No.
Dude.
Oh, poor.
Was this like an algorithm?
Inbox.
Was this like an algorithm thing where they like spied on your phone and were like, hey, everybody
you might be interested in Mariah Carey.
Dude. Well, because there's a lot of like McDonald's.
I'm sorry, Tech.
There's a lot of like McDonald's like musician themed stuff, isn't there? Like there's a lot of like rappers.
Oh, dude, I need to get the Tim Biebs, the Justin Bieber,
dude,
Tim Hortons. They got a fanny pack.
I know.
Sorry, UK. Sorry, I know. You're supposed to call it a bum.
Oh, no.
It's a bum bag in the UK. So they've got a Justin Bieber bum bag here in Canada that you can go and get. Fun fact. So if anyone's
a bum bag sounds nastier than a fanny pack.
I know.
It sounds like a colostrum.
Fanny pack. They both sound awful. That's okay. I'll keep saying fanny pack. That's fine. Is this an inappropriate stream? Well, I guess it is now. Sorry, Brits.
A bum bag sounds like a colostomy bag or whatever. What are those called?
Oh man,
that's what
I thought this was supposed to get better. I thought we were talking about cute dogs. Where's the cute dogs? I need more cute dogs.
Oh man, so a friend of mine had a dog, and here's a great segue. A friend of mine, they had just got a puppy, and puppies like to like chew on things and find things in they just like dig up all sorts of stuff. I don't have a dog, but apparently that's what they do. And she was taking the dog for a walk, and then all of a sudden the dog just was really trying to get at something in the bush, and it was a discarded, how do you say it? Colostomy bag? Like, what are those things called? What am I saying it? Where it's like you have to
colostrum is breast milk. I don't know.
No. What am I what am I saying here? It's like when you
colonoscopy bag.
Yeah. Is that colonoscopy bag? There we go. Yeah, and it was a colonoscopy bag, that the dog pulled out that somebody just threw in the bush. And then it got everywhere. It was horrifying. I was like, she told me that story, and I was like, that sounds...
Cute dogs. Where's cute dogs?
Okay.
Cat.
I told you that was a good segment. That was a segment.
Yeah, how about we talk about, Scary Carrie?
This is potty talk.
Yeah. Scary Carrie is everywhere.
Yeah, okay. Truer words never be spoken.
Oh, it's Mariah time. Oh, dear.
Is it? Oh, there we are. Mariah,
I think you should play Mariah and play some Fine Fair 4. I think it's time. I think it's time for the segue.
Okay, I think...
Oh, shoot, what's this button? I don't know what's happening here. I did a thing.
Dude. Polo just crushed my joy. I am sad. Oh, let's play some Fine 4, you guys. He just got out of there. Okay, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Moose? Oh no. What are we doing here? Tech, send me that link, yo. I'm gonna beat you this time once and for all, and I'm gonna let you start it. Nice. I'm fading hard. Moose, where are you? Where am I? Or do you mean who am I? Hold on. I'm losing my mind right now. Who is Moose? I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. Who am I? I have too many tabs open here. There we go. Let's do this. Oh, we need a... Hey, thanks for the follow. What am I doing? There it is. And we need snow. Okay, my name is Shoe. I mean, I don't know. Okay, here we go. I can do this. Come on, Tech. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm gonna destroy you. Aha! Nice try. I know the whole 3 in the row trick. Bye, guys. Spooter Moose. Oh, we forgot about the banana. Here, I'll just show you this. So we ended up getting the banana after all. Scale. There's the moose. There's the spooter right there. That is a tiny little spooter. How come... I'm surprised it doesn't escape and crawl in your ears every night. Maybe it does. Who knows? Okay. I feel a trap brewing, but that's okay. I need to pay extra attention here, even though my mind doesn't know how. Please. Take your time. What's the rush, man? I just have to be careful for traps. Christmas. Christmas. Oh! I see what you're doing there. How can I do a trap myself? Okay, guys, in the chat, what should I do? Should I do... Tell me which one to put it in. I don't know. I feel like I'm about to get trapped here. That was a mistake. I'm just waiting for Tech 70 to do that an emote that'll make me feel sad. Okay, well that's clearly what I gotta do. Interesting. I see what you're doing here, and it's not gonna work. I'm onto you. Ho! Ho! Am I gonna get you here today? On this day? Oh, no, wait. Hold on a second here. My brain is just not performing very well at all today. I've been got? Oh, man. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. Well, there we go. Congratulations, you guys. Rage quit. That was great. Goodbye, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go take a nap. Maybe drink some nice tea. Or, you know, get out of here. I'm getting out of Dodge, you guys. So I just want to say I love you guys. You're great. I appreciate you. You're cool. I'm so happy that we got to see Naomi today. That was nice. This is a good stream, and I'm feeling very sentimental right now. One of these times, Moose, Chili One says, one of these times, yeah, you know what? 1 o'clock is a time, if you think about it. Like, one of these times. If you're talking about, like, these times, and, like, you know, if 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. or like the one that's in like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. There is a lot of one times if you really think about it. Time is a crazy thing, you know. I'm pretty sure it's not real. Okay, guys. We're going to say goodbye. Thank you for an awesome stream. Love the educational stuff today. It was awesome. Bittersweet stream, but yeah, I had fun. Bitter and sweet? Oh my goodness. Is that like sweet and sour, you know, sweet and sour chicken or something? Okay, I got to get out of here. Love you guys. And we're out.
Hey players, thanks for watching. Join our Discord at mooseandpolo.com/discord to experience the new and most exciting community on the entire MySpace. I mean internet. Yes, internet.
Thank you.
the Moose and Polo Show.
Welcome to the Moose and Polo Show.
Welcome to the Moose and Polo Show.